Hey, can you hear me?
Hey dude, how you going?
Good, good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. So, thanks for taking this opportunity to do this kind of live free session on doing Facebook makeover.
Oh, I should be thanking you instead.
Well, I'm actually using you as an example to see what type of services I provide, and in return, I give you a makeover. So it's a win-win strategy.
Do you need me to show my video or it's fine? I think you'll be sharing your screen, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be sharing the screen anyway. So that's cool, man. So let me just download your photos, right?
Yeah.
And I will also share screen. I'll give people like maybe 5 minutes to jump on. Maybe, yeah, we're a bit early because I did say 10 o'clock. Let me share some screen now with you. Where's this? Not this screen. Yeah, this one. I'll share this one. How you been, man?
Good.
Since
Pretty.
then,
Yeah.
been good?
Yeah, yeah. And do you need me to do anything? Or should I
No,
just
man. I'm just gonna ask you questions. So before I start, I'll probably ask you like, what's your target market? Like, what do you want to achieve? What type of brand do you want to like get towards? What type of color
yeah, yeah.
schemes you like?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So right now, just for us just to jump on, just to chill a bit. So because you don't want to like start 10 o'clock and then we're like just bussing around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So at the moment, let me just save this picture. And I'll just save it in, say, like, just a folder, Jason, just Jason Ding. You got a pretty cool surname, man.
Oh yeah. It's special, I guess. I haven't heard anyone who could.
Yeah, but is it actually that's your real surname?
Yeah, it is. No idea why.
What's your Nash, man?
I'm from Malaysia.
Oh, you're Malaysia. Cool, man.
Yeah.
So Malaysia. But what languages do you speak?
I speak English, Malay, Chinese, Cantonese.
The Mandarin and Cantonese.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, man. Oh, that's a pretty badass pick of you.
That's the old one.
But that's your semi professional photos that you've got, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay. So let's just establish first, right? What
Mhm.
is your, like, this is your profile, and for others who are watching this later, because I don't know how many people are on, like, I've got like, 12, 15 people on, but,
Yeah.
end of the day, people might jump on, so this will be a recording for later.
Okay.
It's basically, what's your brand, man? Because let's look at a profile of your brand. Basically, you're a high ticket closer, so obviously you're part of Dan Locke's program, right?
Yep. Yep.
And you want to be seen as a high ticket closer, and everything about you is very like very keen towards this community where Dan Locke has created for the high ticket closer. But I want to get from you, what do you want to be seen as in terms of branding wise?
So I would say more of like a entrepreneur kind of thing, similar to yours, and just
Okay.
overall, yeah, overall to look more professional instead of having like social photos and things like that.
Yeah. But then, are you more leveraging to build your brand, or more of like leveraging Dan Locke's brand, and then sort of like mix your brand? Are you more of a leveraging someone's brand kind of thing, or like what's your strategy in terms of your brand on Facebook?
Uh, that's the problem. Not much strategy, but yeah, I would say,
Okay. So basically, you're just trying bits and pieces, right?
yep, yep. I want to start on like my own brand, but I don't really know how to go about it.
Okay, so you want to start your own brand. You want to start your own brand. Okay.
Yeah,
But so far, what's working for you, or what you think would work, is you're leveraging Dan's brand, right?
yep. So
You're
far,
leveraging Dan's brand, and you obviously have the high ticket closer banner, which a lot of people who've been to Dan's event has, right? So you have the HCC kind of logo.
yep.
So is that like more of a recognition from other HTC to say, hey, I'm a HTC as well? Is that what it is?
Uh, I would say so. Yeah, and it's more for like people outside of the program to actually, yeah, connect with me and engage, that kind of
Right.
thing.
So it's like a conversational style, like, oh, wow, he's a high ticket closer kind of thing, right?
Yep, that's it.
Cool. So that's so basically just again, it's going back to the fact that you're not really sure or where to angle your brand, right? Where to angle your brand, and you sort of like just basically use what stirs some sort of conversation, right? Which is HTC, Dan Lok, and sales. But is that what you want to be seen as? Like, let's talk about you know how Dan on that day was like, you know, your personal brand, right?
Yeah.
What are three things that someone will say about you? What are three things that you say about yourself that you think people say about you?
Number one would be professional, at least.
Professional, yep.
Not too sure actually. I'm not sure what people would say by just looking at my Facebook profile.
Yeah, looking at forget about your Facebook profile. It's more about you personally. If you had a ability to grant yourself a wish, what would you want people to say about you? Like, if there was to say Jason Thing, like number one is professional. Do you have two more items that you want to say? Hey, that's what they'll say about me.
Yeah, successful.
Successful. Okay, successful. All right. And number three.
I would want to be friendly.
Friendly. Okay, so like probably down to earth kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like humble kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, cool. So there's like he said that the difference between what you think about yourself and what others think about you is the gap between your brand, right? Yeah. So if I was to ask, you know, your close friends or the last person that dealt with you in terms of a sales transaction, what would the others say about you? Would you think, like, if I said to them, hey, Jason Ding, would they say professional, successful, friendly? Like, what type of vibe would you emit from others?
Professional, I would say yes.
Yep.
Successful, not yet, at least.
Okay, no, well, talk about something that's more positive, like something that they'll say about, or something that you think they'll say about you.
Loyal.
Loyal? Okay, cool.
And I would say, yeah, friendly as well.
Okay, friendly. Okay. So basically, it's just the successful. It's just the we call it I think successful. It can be many things, right? It could be like a intangible successful, right? Or something that's tangible, which is like money, right? Money, fast cars, you know, being around really upper class stuff. While intangible is, I would say, you know, having a special ability to add value. I do see that you add a lot of value in your posts every time you post, right?
Not as much as yours.
Well, I teach it, so I have to set a standard. But I'm saying in terms of what I've seen out there, you have a consistent sort of like, you know, use this to brand, and you have some sort of professional side, and it's always like, you know, just really adding value. Because usually I go on people's pages, you have like cat photos and, you know, posts about funny YouTube comedians, and it's all over the shop.
Yeah, memes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. There's 10 minutes, so it's 10 o'clock. So I'll just give it 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, then we'll jump on to basically work out your cover photo and your. So basically, what we're trying to do today, the objective is the cover photo, right?
Yep.
Okay. And the cover pic, right? Which is the behind the cover photo. Okay.
Yep.
So I want to know about your color palettes. Like, what do you like? What type of colors do you like? Do you have any affiliation to certain colors that you feel like represents you?
Black and gold, definitely.
Black and gold. All right, black and gold. All right. So you like something that's black and gold, right?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. I can find something like that. I can find something black and gold. What other colors besides black and gold?
Navy. Like
navy, right? Blue, like blue. Yeah.
Maroon.
Okay, cool. So I noticed that when I saw you the other time, you were wearing like a velvety kind of suit, and that was like maroon, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a good. Was it maroon or was it navy?
I was navy.
Yeah, Navy. I remember it was Navy. Yeah, it was Navy. And then you had the Dan Lock kind of hairstyle. I thought you were like the second IC. Oh, Eric Lung's on. Hey, Eric Lung. So I'll give it 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Right now, guys, is basically I'm asking Jason here, which is, I guess, about what type of brand he wants. So far, let's give a bit of a shout out. Like, what do you do, Jason? Like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Like, in terms of like your services.
Like right now, I do closing, like high ticket closing, and
high ticket closing. Yep.
that would be the main one that I want to focus on. I do have another day job, but that's not something I want to put it out there.
Yeah. Well, we put something out there. That's what we want to know you as. So basically, high ticket closing. And what particular areas are you closing?
As of now, I would say, how do you say? Yeah, like a coaching kind of program, advice.
Okay, so coaching programs. Is it more leaning towards wealth or health or relationships, like, or is it a mixed match?
It's more for like B2B.
B2B. Okay, so then basically, you guys, do you get that from the Dan Lock's community, or you go and find it yourself?
From Dan Lock with him.
All right, cool. Mostly from him. All right, cool. So you're actually, and what is your goal? Like when you sort of leverage and move away from more of a HTC kind of Dan Lock brand, which you're currently leveraging, what do you want to be seen as, and what do you want to do further? Do you want to still be like a sales kind of, like a closer, but just a, more of a dominant Jason thinking kind of thing? Do you want to leave away Dan Lock's brand and keep that subtle? Like, what's your idea of your brand?
I would still like to be associated with like Dan Lock. I think leveraging on his brand would be good.
Yeah.
I think I would want people to like reach out to me themselves.
Right. So rather than relying on Dan's kind of referral system that he gives leads to people, you want people to reach out to you because you have this strong brand, right?
Yep.
Right. So that's the goal. Goal is to have a strong personal brand on, I guess right now you're using Facebook, right? Do you use other platforms?
I do use Instagram, but not too active. Yeah?
Right. Okay. But somehow Facebook is something that you're spending some more time on, right?
Yeah.
So the goal was to have a strong brand on Facebook, and then the other goal was to have people approach you for your services, right? Right. Rather than relying on a source, Dan source, relying on Dan source, right? Which isn't bad, but it's, I guess, the difference is the money, right? In terms of the commission, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. All right, so what I'll do is, look, it's 10:05, so I'll start. So basically, just to summarize for those who are on and those who are going to watch this later, is that Jason wants to really still leverage Dan's brand, which is Dan Lock's brand. And do you still want to have display the HTC logo?
I want to remove that, but I'm not sure. I don't have a better one at the moment.
All right, cool. So we'll work on that. All right. So we can maybe creatively put the logo somewhere else, because I do see a lot of Dan Lock's students who come out and they just pop the HTC logo, like, something like this, right? And I see it all the time, right? It doesn't really differentiate you from other closers, right? It's more like they have this and then they chuck this on, right? And it's like, all right, that's another closer, but it doesn't really differentiate you from other closers. So that's something that we're going to change. You also said that you're not really sure how to angle your brand. What I found most important is, once we have a cover photo and a cover picture that we want to stand for the time being, before we change it next 6 or 8 months later, is that it really narrows down what you stand for, right? And it'll help you, like, for example, you look at my cover photo, it's about this roar, this like bunch of people roaring, right? So everything I say is about roaring and like being brave and being a lion, right?
Yeah.
So we just need to find something in your picture that really brings out that idea, right? And then you also mentioned that your personal brand is about professionality, being successful, being humble, and in a way, if we can display it in terms of graphic wise, because you said the gap between what you say about yourself and what others say about you is that, yes, they say you're a professional, They say you're friendly, but they might not say you're successful, right? So how do we then show that in terms of a picture format to say in their mind, hey, this guy looks successful. Maybe I assume that he is a successful, right?
Yep.
And that's something that we can do a lot with your background cover. Okay. And maybe the way we angle your face. So at the moment you angle your face, maybe it's a bit too close. So we'll go about that as we go and do it. And for guys who are watching this, you can drop some questions and I'll look at it later and to answer your questions. But for now, just watch what I do. Maybe you have questions, I'll answer it later. The other thing is your objective tonight is just to change your cover photo, cover pic. Me and you have a back and forth conversation whether you like it, what you want changed, what you want tweaked, and why do certain things. And the color palettes we're going to use today is black and gold. Somewhere, somehow, just to, I guess, black and gold to display value, I guess, right? And money, right? And then navy and maroon. So does that sound about right, what you want to sort of achieve in this sort of makeover kind of thing?
Yep, that's it.
Cool. Let's get started, man. So number one, guys who are watching this, I will probably first work on your let me just go to your pictures. I'm just trying to find it. We'll work on Jason thing. I'm just trying to find the folder that I save all your photos. Okay, because you've only given me sort of a limited amount of photos. So this is what Jason has given me, right? So basically we got you. That's a nice shot of you contemplating reading Dan Lok's book. That's kind of blurry, right? And I believe you shot that on your phone, right?
Yep.
That looks a bit gangster, to be honest. That doesn't build this kind of, like, I believe we're trying to build this sort of, you wearing a corporate suit and you have your hair slicked back, right? So right now your hair's down, so I probably won't use that.
Yep.
That one's still like looking up. That's a nice picture. So I guess we'll probably play around with these two pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't had any professional shots done before, right? So this is all taken from the iPhone, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so for this photo that I've got here, which is this one, in terms of your cover photo, right? So look at here, right? So this is your cover photo, and right now I'm using Photoshop, okay? So, but for guys who are watching this and you don't have Photoshop, there is a free tool called Photopea. So Photopea is a free editing software. It has limited services, right? But it does allow you to tweak certain images and color grading on here that I'm doing on the full Photoshop kind of software. But obviously there are limitations, but obviously don't go buy Photoshop if you're not familiar and sort of master the tools here. Otherwise you're wasting your money. So that's a bit of a tip for those who are watching this. But if I was to go ahead and do this, look, for your cover photo, right? So what I want to say is, for your cover photo, let me just bring this here as well. So for your cover photo, right, is the thing is, let me move this here. I'm just trying to move all this stuff here. All right, cool. And I'm trying to move this stuff here, and I'm trying to move this stuff here. Right, cool. So for your cover photo, right, I reckon if you had it, right now you have it right at like this, kind of close, kind of ring, right? I reckon if you had it at a bit like this, just to display, like if you were to just imagine your Facebook photo, like I reckon this would look kind of nice, right? Because it shows that kind of handkerchief hanging out, right? Because right now you have it like this, right? Yeah. So it's sort of like, actually you got it at your neck, right? So I don't know what the hell you're wearing. You might be wearing a t-shirt. Like I don't know the setting, right? So you got to give a glimmer of your tie and your suit, okay? So what I usually do is, if I was to sort of give it a bit, because Facebook usually allows you to zoom in, zoom out, so I'll probably give it sort of this much space to allow myself to play on Facebook when I zoom in, right? And I'll get you to update it and do it later, and I'll do it on my thing just to show you, and then you can apply it at the end. Yep. So I'll crop it. So basically, what I usually do is you mentioned you want a bit more maroon, a bit more navy, right? What I do is I try to get you popping out a bit more, right? So you see how I'm making you pop out a little bit more, right? I'm giving you a bit more skin tone,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to pop you out a bit more. So look at the before, very kind of flat. This is you're popping out a bit more, right? Before you sort of like your skin color and the background, unfortunately, because of this curtain, it's sort of beige, right? But then I want to really highlight the fact that you have a badass ring here, like an earring.
Probably
And
take that off, maybe good.
I'm sorry, no, you don't need to take it off. Like that's your personality. You want to show your personality, right? You don't want to be a clean. You don't want to be exactly looking like Dan Locke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want you to be like a junior version of Dan Locke, right? So what I do is basically I will pump you up a bit more, right? Then I would just basically get you into a little bit more. So look before and after, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I usually did, or then what I'll do is I will play around with some color palettes, right? So what I usually do with clients, I'll be like, hey, well, you want to focus on a bit more maroon, right? So let me just see, I can sort of darken the color a bit. So now I've made you pop that a bit more, right?
Yep.
And I'll add a bit more magenta. So see, it makes you a bit purpley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like 0, right? So I'll add a little bit of a twinge purple, right? And either I add you, I won't play with this, and I'll give you a bit of the blue. And on Photopea, I think there are functions that allows you to sort of tweak your color. See how I can turn your suit lighter to darker, right? Mm-hmm. So what's your preference? Do you want a lighter suit or a darker suit?
Probably darker.
Yeah, I feel like darker is more like trust, right? Very stable kind of feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I can sort of make it purple, right, if you want. But I feel like purple is a bit of a playful kind of color. I feel like blue is a bit nice, right? And then I can play with a subtle cyan, which is sort of a bluish. It just basically gives you a bit more shadow. This sort of makes it look kind of cheap suit. So I try to make it a bit more darker. And from here, add a bit more here. What I can do is usually for our complexion is either the color scale, right? So you see right now at the back, there's a lot of lighting. So if I can actually reduce this to just concentrate more on your face, whilst if I do this, you see how that really brings out the tension off your face to the curtain, right? Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Very subtle, but if someone wants to jump on your Facebook profile, we all have goldfish mentality. 3 seconds, we judge you, right? If I jump on and I saw this, oh shit, I saw some curtains, right? All right, that's okay, cool. I'll jump off, right? But here, I sort of capture your face. I see your earring, and I sort of see you as like with that little thing there. So I sort of like this, right? Mm-hmm. Did I see whether I want to add a bit of a blue or thing like that, which I don't? It's going to mess up the color. And I'm pretty happy with this, right? So next thing I want to do is I want to make you pop a little bit more. So how I make you pop is I use a bit of a color intensity, which I light up, either make you a bit more illuminating you, or I give you more color. See how this gives you more color in terms of vibrancy? Obviously, I don't want to do it too much where you look a bit, sunburnt, right? So it's just a slight thing, right? Slight thing, and a bit of luminance, right? And then the before after. So this looks a bit dead, flat. It was still good. Then you add a bit more color, right? And then what I usually do is, it depends on the picture. The picture you're giving me, it's more like an iPhone kind of shot, right? So it sort of feels to me very pixely from the get-go. Like I usually deal with a lot of professional photos, but for guys who are watching this, is you can actually blur out certain elements. So there's a blur tool, which I could sort of like, I'll have to trial it. So basically that really blurs out all these kind of, pixely kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. See how that blurs it a bit? I don't want to blur way too much, so I'll just do that. Add that in, and that sort of kind of, and then what I would want to do is, there's a burn tool, so that really like makes your hair a bit more blacker. That's if I want to accentuate that, right? But again, like, you know, the whole picture at itself is slightly, I guess what I'm trying to say, it's slightly blurry already. But when you look at Facebook, you know, on a Facebook point of view, it's like that anyway. So you don't really notice it, right? So far, what's your thoughts about this compared to your sort of photo before?
Definitely much more color. I really like the color tones, I would say.
Yeah, you like the color tones, right? Cool.
Looks more professional.
Yeah, you're saying?
Looks more professional.
Yeah, it looks more professional, and something that you can that I can do just to test it out is basically there is this tool called Sponge. So basically, it sort of like reduces the background a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether you like this look where it's sort of like it's making you pop a bit more.
Oh,
whilst
yeah.
I'm removing the background so that I'm making it look more kind of neutral. Like, what's your thoughts about that?
I think that's better. I mean, I believe the background is a bit too bright, like the original one.
Yeah. I think it's a bit too bright. If you look at this, it sort of makes you kind of beige. I don't know, like, you know, but this one sort of like removes all that yellowish kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of makes your hair pop out a little bit more, right?
Yep.
So in terms of that, yeah, I feel like you're popping out a bit more because the point of a nice profile pic is to pop out, right? If you're not popping out, I guess, you know, your content, if it's good, people are going to read it anyway. But the whole point of this makeover just to make a single picture pop out a little bit more, right?
Sweet. Yeah, that looks much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then that sort of pops out a little bit more, and I'll just probably like twinge out the ear and here, right? So the other thing that I could also do that I like, because I'm quite, I like to sort of like, this is a focus tool, right? So basically what I like to do is when I first like look at a photo, what draws me to you is basically either your eyes, right? So I can sharpen up your eyes a bit, right? Right. It's a very subtle thing. Like if you like look back at before, this is before, right? And this is after. You see how when you look at the picture, suddenly my eyes are more gravitated towards your eyes.
Yeah.
And it's very subtle, very subtle. So maybe I might also want to do your ring a bit more. So it's very thing. You have this sort of like chill kind of look, right? So I don't think I want to accentuate that a little more, just very subtle. Want to probably accentuate a bit of your hair, right? So then I'll leave that like that. So I feel like that's kind of ready for a profile pic. The best I could do. I mean, I guess the next step I could do is see whether I could pop it out a bit more. But then I think it's a bit too much now, right? I can try to pop it out a bit more, right? So if you look at the before and after, like which one do you like more? This is before. I feel like I'm an optometrist, right? Do you like this lens? What do you like more? Like, do you like this or this?
This one looks better. Like after you click that, it becomes.
Yeah, it becomes a bit too much, I reckon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too much. So I'll basically, I think I like this. So what I do is then I'll save this for you for your use, and I'll show you how to basically apply it as well. So, so basically, this is the final thing. I like to use PNG, and I do encourage everyone who's watching this to use PNG rather than JPEG. JPEG really smashes the pixels, and I usually try to reduce the size to maybe 70 just to have that, or maybe I don't know 80, right, just to have that, right? And then what I do is I hit it into your thing, and I'll just call it your cover, your profile pic, right? So then you got to ask, hey, well, wait, how the hell do I freaking use this, right? Because what dimensions should I use? All right. So if you jump over to my page, right, and I totally have a different photo. I'm going for a different field because I work with the photos, right? Because your one I can only work this way. So what I'll do is, for example, And I'm not going to update your photo, so don't worry. I'm not going to suddenly be Jason out of the blue, right? But just to show you how it works is then you go to this, you go to the photo I've given you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, when it uploads, you can actually zoom in and zoom out. I reckon currently you have it like at this, right? Which sort of like doesn't show what it is. I do feel like you should do it like this, right? Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the difference between why you should do rather than you doing this, right? Because that really doesn't show what you're wearing, right? So if you want to show yourself as successful, professional friendly, you have the friendly look, you have the kind of pro look, but the successful feel like I don't really like for me, I feel like if I see someone wearing a suit, then I assume they're kind of successful in a way, right? It's very more of a mental kind of thing. And I'll probably won't leave it here. I want to leave you higher. The reason why you want to do high, it's more like you're looking, it's not like you're trying to look down at someone. It's more like you're on a higher ground, like you're a speaker, while on down here, you're sort of like equal. So you want to really establish yourself as a higher authority, right? So in terms of that, I feel like that's pretty cool. I don't feel like that is that like I don't think I need to capture that, because if I try to capture that, then it's kind of small. Because when you look at Facebook, it's already small already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then that's sort of cool, and then I'll probably like save it, right? So I'll just like screenshot this to give you a reference, so you can work on it later when I give you this copy. So something like that would be nice. Okay.
Okay.
So far, do you have any questions on this? And I'm also going to look into comments to see if there's any questions from everyone else. Okay, so any questions? Okay, Eric, you're the only one on. I've got like 15 people registered, and you show up. That's pretty cool. You got any questions before I move on to sort of the broader cover photo? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. All right, cool. It seems like he does not have any questions. Well, happy for you to ask questions later. Just type it in and I'll answer it. So do you have any questions, Jason?
No, not at the moment. I think it's great.
Cool. So far so good?
Yeah.
Cool. So what I'll do is I'll also save as some sort of like, I'll save it as a PDF just to keep a copy. Just say JT's profile. All right. All right, cool. So now we're going to move into your cover photo. I mean, your cover pic, which is the background, right? The background.
Yeah.
So this one, for those who are watching, is the dimension for this type of background, right? Is you got an image size is about 2307,754. It's 2037,754. All right. So that is. And if you can't remember it, you just jump on to, just go to Google, like, Facebook cover photo, dimensions 2020, right? Like simple search, it will give you whatever answer you're looking for, right? So I sort of know, so I'm not going to like really go into it. So for now, we got to choose the kind of the feel, right? So the way we feel it is we're going to look at what is a nice photo. So right now we got you reading Dan Lok, right? So someone as a very educated. So do you, this is my idea, right? And I'm going to run it through you. There's several ideas, right? So let me just pull up the photos, right? So I can just chuck this one up, right? And then I could chuck. I already used that, so I'm not going to reuse it. Or I could chuck this one, right? Okay. So, like I said, I'm not going to. Like I said, I wasn't really happy with this photo. So either in this photo thing, right? Let me see what's the image size of this. So just say 900, right? So say I could do a photo of you just reading, right? Like this, right? I can just do you reading, right? And that's your photo, right? And then we have some sort of quote here that you can give me, right?
Yep. Yep.
Or what we could do is we can do something that's a bit more, if you want to show before and after kind of thing, is you can show like this to this. You can go before, after. Or do you want to, I feel like this is a bit too much messaging. I feel like maybe not. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe just do this and then have a quote behind you.
Yeah. I think that's better.
Cool, cool, cool. All right.
Yep,
Just wanted to get your idea on that. Now, can you give me a quote, something that summarizes what you do in like 5 words?
That's hard. Yeah, just come up with something for now. I'll still have to double think what I
Yeah,
have.
look, you come up with something. So I'll tell you what type of angle I'm sort of approaching in terms of doing this, right? So at the moment, what I usually do is I like this picture, and that's the only picture I've got, right? That's the only picture I've got, right?
Yep,
And I
yep.
want to accentuate your watch, and I want to accentuate you reading Dan Lock's Unlock It, right? Or people who don't know Dan Lock, they don't care. They just think you're reading a book, right? In a nice setting, right?
Yeah.
So what I want those who are watching this is remember when you do a cover photo, your photo will be here, right? So don't try to put crap here because this photo is going to cover it, right? So imagine if I was doing, if I don't know what the hell I was doing, and I put your thing here, right? And then I spend like I don't know, hours just to edit this shit, and then put this, and then suddenly I put it onto the cover photo, and then your face blocks this, right? And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh fuck, man, I have to do it again. Like serious, right? So always imagine from here, this is a no-go zone, right? Just stay away from that. Okay. So for me, how I remind myself is basically I do a layer just to remind myself what am I doing? Here it is. All right, sorry, it's over here. I do a layer, and you can play with that on Photopea as well. And what happens is I'm trying to get this away. It's very clunky. And I just try to chuck a black box here. So I'm like, stay away from that, right? So my creative idea is I'm going to have you sitting somewhere here like this, and while your cover photo is here, and some sort of background, right? So the way that I achieve that is a skill that I've learned is called cutting, right? So you can actually do this on Photopea. And it's kind of like you can basically use softwares out there that cuts the background for you, but I don't really like it because it doesn't have the finesse I'm looking for. But what I usually do is I cut it manually. All right. So I use this tool. It's like the top left hand corner. So I try to do a tool to trace you to get that out because I don't really want all this background crap, right?
Yeah.
So what I do is then I trace you, right? So this is called a magnetic tool. And this is how you guys, how you see how I do my photoshopping kind of thing, right? You're like, oh, cool. How does Quang do all that bloody, get all these movie covers and then freaking like, does a spin and puts his head on it, right? That's a bit of more advanced version of photoshopping, right? But it's basically what I'm doing is I'm actually tracing your body,
The outline.
and at the moment it's sort of doing a pretty bad job. But I just want to save time because I don't want to really go and cut everything, right? So I'm going to include the table because I kind of like the table. I'm going to really fix the book later, right? And then I'm going to go back up here and then go here. And obviously you'll be like, oh, this looks a bit messy, right? That's okay. It's just to get an outline, right? And I wouldn't say I'm the best at Photoshop, but I'm just showing you sort of the creative angle I'm doing. And then if you want, you can go bloody Photoshop the best. Go YouTube the best practice. Okay. So this is sort of like my style. So you see how I've got your outline. I'm pretty happy with it, right, at the moment, right? But obviously, I don't like this kind of stuff. So then I finesse it with this kind of diagonal tool, right? And then I can actually cut this out, right, as I'm doing it, right? And then I'm like, right, cool, I've got that, right? I don't like this, I'm gonna cut it out, right? I don't like this, cut it out. Cool, all right? And then I go to your book and I'm gonna cut your shoulders out, right? And then All right, cool. I'm happy with that. It doesn't need to be perfect because obviously we'll be zooming out later, right? So that's sort of cool. I've got this here, and then sort of goes into your book, and then sort of cut the book. That's okay. There's a thing called add addition, so I'm gonna add it back. All right, so I'm just gonna add back that. So that's that. So, and then basically, like a lot of people say, hey, you don't like you spend a lot of time on Photoshop. I don't really, because like once you learn these skills, like I told like what Dan Locke was saying, we're all about skills. Once you learn the skills, right, you get really quick at it, right? You agree with that, right, Jason?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, I get pretty quick at what and as long as you're really good with your messaging, like doing a half-ass job is better than going for like Steven Spielberg and just doing a massive like Photoshop work on it, right? So I feel like I really like this kind of lounge. So I'm gonna not cut it. I've changed my mind, so I'm gonna add it as well, so that I don't really just get your leg out of nowhere, right? So then, and I'm also gonna add. Also gonna add this as well. I'm gonna add the table. So I'm just gonna cut out the side of it. I'm gonna add the table, and then boom, right? So I've got what I like out of this, right? And then I've got the book. I want to add a bit more sort of definition to the book, because I reckon I've cut way too much out of that page. It's gonna look a bit wonky, and you'll see it later. It's gonna look a bit wonky. So I'm just gonna really finesse this. All right, cool. So I've got you here. I'm gonna add a bit more to. So what happens? You can actually do a zoom in to get a bit more finesse on that. So I'm gonna add that. I don't want to lose this sort of edge to the thing. All right. So then I've got this. I'm gonna cut a little bit of the white here. Right. Cool. I'm gonna cut this, which is sort of like your eye, so I can, because I'm gonna use a nice background to it later. And then I've got to sort of like cut this, because that's also the background, and it's gonna be weird if somehow if I'm gonna use a black background, that is not showing up in that sort of that. I'm gonna sort of bridge that kind of pixel, right? I would say so far I'm pretty happy with what I've got, right? Which is here.
Yep.
Let's see whether I've chopped your ear a bit. So basically, then I'm just gonna do this. All right. All right, cool. So then, therefore, we got some nice silhouette of you. All right, cool. So what I'll do then, right, is I will then cut this out, copy cut, and I'll hit you here, right? So I'm going to delete this, because that just gives me an idea where you are. I would probably do something like that. I'll zoom it out, put you here, right? And I'll assume that your cover photo would sort of hit here, and we'll play around that with later. But I sort of assume that this is what's going to look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you'll be like, hey, well, have you thought about the 5 words you want to describe yourself while I was doing this?
Yeah.
What would that be?
Vision without execution is hallucination.
So what is it?
Vision without execution.
All right, cool. Let me see. Vision without execution.
It's hallucination.
Is hallucination.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So is hallucination. So basically, is hallucination. Okay. Vision without execution is hallucination, right?
It's catchy.
Okay. So look, that's pretty cool. But what has that got to do with you being a high ticket salesperson? Like, do you want to say something like, I can close whatever you want? Like, do you want to be more direct, so that when people, like, just think about someone who's passing by, and then they see vision without execution is hallucination. It's like, well, what does it really mean? Like, do I need to really get really deep and meaningful just to see what this guy's talking about? Or would you want to use something more generic, like, knowledge is power, and I can close, and something to do with sales? Do you see the difference?
Yep, yep, I see, yeah. But I was just thinking in terms of like performance. Like if I say I can post anything, that wouldn't be correct, you know? Like,
Yeah, so maybe that's a really bad example. So I was thinking more about maybe like knowledge is power. Invest in knowledge or invest in skills. And I think Dan is more about skills.
uh,
So
that,
knowledge is power. Skills are even more powerful. Right? Invest in skills are more powerful. So I mean, like I feel like something in that line would sort of bring you out more rather than vision. It sounds very wishy washy.
or what about like the best investment is yourself?
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. That's very generic, right? So
Yeah.
so you get the best investment, right? Because obviously when your cover pick goes out, right, people will like it depending on the quote that's on there, right? So if they agree with it, then they'll like it more because obviously you want to generate interest from your cover pick, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
basically, having something like that, what you said before, is a bit wishy washy. But the best investment is what was it again?
It's in yourself.
Yeah, the best investment is investing in, right. I'll just say investing in, and then I'll just do like maybe like yourself, right? So I'll just say boom, yourself, right? Right. So don't worry about the font, right? Don't worry about this. It's just a kind of idea at the moment.
Yep.
There are these black things, so I've just got to get rid of it because it's quite distractive now. So what I was thinking is, over here was, and you guys can find this on Google. It's called just like steel or black luxury background photos, wallpaper kind of thing, right? I don't know how I found it, but you just keep looking. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So this kind of steel kind of look, because I feel like black steel, it's all related to watch and durability kind of feel, right? And then you told me that you like black and gold.
Yep.
So we can definitely do something like this, right? Just to give you that sort of gold kind of feel, right? And this stuff you can steal it off internet. It's for free. You don't need to buy. You don't need to pay for it, right? So let's just play with one, right? So just say, I like this, right? Just say I like this, right? And then I obviously can. Which one do you like more? I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's just go with some sort of like, I like this a little bit better, right? Then I'll download it, right? So I can download it, and I'll actually download for free, and then it's sort of downloading, right? At the moment, I don't know why is it 30 megs. Right, it's just a picture, right? I don't know why the hell it's 30 megs, but cool. Anyway, we'll wait for it, right? And while it's downloading, so what the intention was is to place that at the back. That sort of pops you out, right? Because you're sort of like blue, navy, and stuff. We don't want to pop out the black out of you, right? So we'll wait for that to load, and then we'll see a stark difference in, the photo with some sort of black at the back. So at the moment, let's hit here, and where is your folder? And I'll just chuck this here, right? And then obviously, let's see. Okay, cool. So we have something like this, right? All right, cool. So that's cool. All right. So then what I'll do is I will then pull you back out and then add a background, right? And this background seems to be something that I place file. There you go. Okay. So then this file, I would then add it to the back, which you guys can also play with Photopea. So what happens is then I would elongate it and make you look like that. And then you have that kind of gold kind of feeling, right?
Yeah.
But obviously we need to tweak. I reckon this is a bit better, rather than this. I want to draw the attention to your face, right? So it's like, pew, right? Then obviously I have to then do the same adjustment. So basically, I need to sort of blend you to the back. So I need to add more substance to you, right? So obviously, either I sort of like that kind of feel, right? So it's like this, but too much light, right? Too much light, way too much light. Whilst here, I've got you bit more, a bit more darker. All right, and then I just need to adjust a bit. So I feel like I like this kind of bit more, right? Obviously, it needs a bit more work. So obviously, then I have to then add a bit more black. Either I could sort of do that to add a bit more oomph to it, to where you are. Add that, right? That's a bit too dark now. And you mentioned to me you want a bit more maroon kind of feel, right? So I just want to add a bit more darkishness to it. I think that's a bit too dark, right? So either like that, and then I want to add a bit more white to your color, to your skin. No, leave it like that, and then either give you. I sort of feel like that's okay. What's your thoughts? Do you want to add more blue to your suit? Whiter? I reckon more black is a bit nice.
Yep, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I reckon that's fine. And then I would then have to pop you out by hitting up some color into you and then luminance, all right? So basically, boom, boom, right? Cool. So basically, it's more about you looking down and what I usually do is to make you pop a bit more from this is I'll work on this later. I'll work on like this whole like what font do you like? Like I feel like this font is a bit too
cartoonish.
Yeah. Do you want something that's a bit more, I guess more
something like on the book, that kind of font.
That kind of font, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Something that's a bit bold, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a big. How about like this? Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so basically then we will do white on that. So see how it's like we could sort of like blend that in, right? Because I like blending it in, right? So the best investment. So like it's like it draws the eyes, goes to you, then it goes best investment, and then it is investing in yourself. So basically we would then and also a bit of a tip for you guys is basically, yes, you can get free stock photos from Free Pick, right? And guys, I'm not affiliated to this. I just Googled it, right? So the other one that you can do is the font. The font allows you to find a lot of fonts, right? So I've been collecting a lot of fonts over the years, right? I'm just a font collector. But if you guys want to find fonts that you want to use in Photopea or other stuff that you like, you can go download it and install it into whatever program you have that they all work, right? So that's where I find my fonts. And I don't buy any of this stuff, right? Except of, probably buying Photoshop. But that was after many years of experimenting with other stuff. And then yourself. So maybe like for yourself, right? I kind of feel like we need to add some sort of gold into it, right? Right. So the best investment is investing in yourself. So I kind of feel like, right, what I kind of feel like is like I've got my own settings, but I'll give it to you anyway. Basically is I feel like I could sort of make you pop with gold, right? Mm-hmm. So right now it's gold, right? So I want to sort of make yourself as something that's golden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that it looks a bit hectic, right? It looks pretty cool, right? And obviously what I do is then I go to this, get out of this, and then pop you out, right? And then bam, I'm gonna pop you out, all right? I'm gonna pop you. right? Got to pop you out yourself, right? So it's sort of like a statement, right? It's like boom, boom, boom in yourself. So it's like something that's really unique, right? So then, so I just need to tweak this. I feel like my angle is kind of nice, bold it out a bit more. Like bam, like it's like your statement, right? It's like you're a person that reads books, right? So then it's more like the best thing is in so I sort of like aligning things, and I'll probably align it like sort of like that, probably like this, so it's not so bloody big, right? So it's like that. So then I like aligning things, so it's sort of like lined up, and then I want to probably zoom this out a bit more. So, and I've been doing this for a while, so I sort of know the best practice of how the eyes sort of thing move. So I'm gonna go like that. And then what I'll do is I will add some sort of shadow at the back. So bam, right? Add some shadow, right? So you sort of like that at the moment?
Yeah, I think it looks
right.
fantastic.
All right. So then you want to add some HTC stuff, right?
Yep. Maybe add the logo or something?
Yeah. So I can go find our HTC logo, right? So HTC. So I'll go to HTC logo, right? And oh no, this is maybe more Dan Lok kind of thing. Maybe put Dan Lok, right? HTC Dan Lok. So okay. So then the ways, guys, for you to find something that is transparent, you go to tools, you go to color, and you go transparent, right? And what happens, you can find a HTC logo, right? So the moment we've got HTC logo, save it, and I'll save it here. And then what happens is we're going to use it. So let's go to here, open this. All right, so chuck this here. So the moment sometimes you can't chuck it, so what I do, I have to reconvert it. But don't go through this process because it's a bit of a pain to reconvert a freaking logo. But I just can't be stuck looking for it again. So I'll just go HTC logo. I close that. All right, and then HTC logo. Pop that in, right? And then boom, right? So then obviously I want to get rid of this high tick closer. I feel like I want to keep it subtle.
Yeah, delete it.
Yeah, I want to keep it subtle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I probably want to keep it like kind of really subtle, like kind of, I don't know, man, like somewhere here, like a little kind of corner kind of thing, right?
Yeah, in the corner.
Hidden away, right? So it's like a little emblem.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like it's gonna like really eat up your brand. So it's sort of like, yes, you're affiliated to it, but I acknowledge it, but that's not totally me, right? So just here, right? And the other thing that I make things pop is where's the background? Is this the background? Yeah, this is the background. So the way I make things pop is let me see whether this works, right? So this is called a it's called a technique called Vignette, right? So Vignette is basically something like that. I'm going to select filter. I'm going to modify feather it 75 inverse, and then I go to that image. No, it's not image. Curves. There you go. All right. So see that?
Okay. Yeah.
See how it focuses? Like this is before, this is after. Right? And I like this better because it's like focused on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously we have to then play around with. So best investment is investing in yourself. And then what I usually like to do is to give my clients a sort of signature. So you want this Jason thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's find something that is quite signatory. And let me have a look here. Something that's quite signatory is what type of font? Higher Jots Notes. Okay, cool. So I'll use Higher Jots Notes. High HR. Let me have a look. Here you go. Okay. So I'll use something like that. So now it makes it a little bit more finesse, right? So it's all like, oh, he had his own bloody signature, right? Kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll just create another one. Oops. Right. So then I have like kind of Jason thing, right? Jason thing, right? So it's all like bam, right? So what I'll do is then I have that, right? And then what happens is then like, that's you, right? The best investment, the best. You know what? You know what? I feel like I want to play with things, right? So rather than say the best investment, you should say the best thing. You know why?
Because of my
Because
name.
you're Jason Ding. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Do you sort of like that, or do you think that's a bit corny?
That's a bit cheesy, I would say.
All right, I like being cheesy. Okay, cool. But I feel like it's more like a tongue in cheek kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, that's sometimes what I do with my clients. I give them ideas like, nah, man, that's a shit idea, bro. All right, cool. So okay, the best investment is investing in yourself, right? And I feel like this is kind of ready, right? What do you feel?
I think it's awesome.
Cool. So what I'll do is then I'll add like a shadow just to make it pop a little bit more, right? Just to make it a little bit popper, all right? And I'll see how I make it pop. Let me see how I'm going to make it pop. Because in my head, it's like, how do I make this pop? How do I make this pop, right? That's always what I want to do, make it pop. Let me have a look here. Create a layer. Okay, cool. So I just created a layer for this. And what I do is, oh, shit. Okay. I'll just select. So I create a layer. So you got a bit of a background. So what I do is, what I could do is I could actually modify and distort your background, right? So then it looks like this, right? It's like, ooh, this guy has a background now, right? This guy has some sort of, like a shadow now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, ooh, that looks pretty interesting. This guy has a bit of a shadow now, right? He's like reading and it's got spotlight on him, right? So it's like, this is your eyes, right? So I was thinking maybe, yeah, that'll be a pretty good shadow, right? So, but I'd probably want to be more here, than more here, or maybe more here, right? This is investing in yourself. I don't know. I don't want to bleed into. I feel like that would be pretty cool, right?
Yep.
So what I'll do is then that, and then what I do is to make it not so, I just motion blur a bit, right? So it's not so like really concrete, right? So then I feel like this is kind of ready, right? The best investment is investing in yourself, Jason Thing, right? And then what happens is, I can actually modify the power of that. No, actually, yeah, I think that's a bit better. No, too much, right? Cool. All right, cool. So then what I do is, right, I will then test it, right? The way I test it is I personally feel like all this stuff that I've done, I feel like I should move it a bit. Oh, sorry. Forget about the HTC. Where's the HTC logo? Is this the HTC logo? Yeah, cool. So forget about this. I want to move it here. Reason being is I feel like that logo of you here is not going to cover everything, right? Cool. So then, okay. So what I'll do is then I will save it, right? And then and how I test it is, and we can always come back and test it. So 70%, right? So that's sort of you. So I think that's a bit too big. Okay. So then save it, and then I'll just say this is your cover pic, JT, right? So then we go to boom. We go to we'll go to me because I can't test it on your thing. We go to me, right? and update cover photo, upload photo, and then I choose this one, right? Obviously, I'm not going to save it. It's a bit silly if I save it. And yeah, so you know how that's kind of nice. It sort of gets that book, and then gets rid of that thing, and then I sort of cover that chair that it bleeds out with a black shadow.
Yeah.
So then how that looks really nice now.
Mm-hmm.
Looks so much more professional, right?
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
and you don't need to adjust it because it's like there already, right? So then see how the bloody the table sort of ends, but if we cover it, nobody knows, right? Nobody knows, right?
Yeah.
So let me get out of this and cancel. All right, cool. So there you go, mate. Does that achieve what we said in terms of your objective in sort of, I guess, 45 minutes?
Yeah, that was quick, man.
Give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that you wanted to basically look professional. You wanted to sort of still leverage his brand, but Danlock's brand, but not too strong. So you want to leverage more 80% of your brand and 20% of Danlock's brand. You mentioned that I feel like right now, do you feel like you can have more of an angle right now if you know that this is your style? Like it's more about investing, best investment, like adding value.
Yeah, definitely. Like in terms of positioning, I think it's great.
Yeah, it sort of anchors you in like rather than just add and random value, you can sort of repeat like this is the investing, like investing yourself, reading books, like these are the books I read, because it sort of relates to your whole some of your posts here, which is about right, reading books and stuff, and you're doing quotes like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sort of relates to that. And the other thing that I wanted to also address was that professional, successful. I do feel like in terms of comparing, let's do it before. I like to do a before and after shot, just for Facebook covers purposes, my group's purposes. So this was before, right? This was before Jason's photo. So basically, this was before, right? So you can see comparing this kind of look versus kind of this kind of look. Like I do really feel like it does feel more professional. It does feel more successful. Because I sort of highlighted your watch. You're in this sort of like you don't really give a shit kind of mode. You're just reading, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this gold color, and then the signature really pumps you out as some sort of like author kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you're sitting in some nice luxury place, and in the background's kind of fancy, right? As opposed to something that's like this, very like very forgettable kind of image, right? Doesn't really go woo. Like I want to know more about this guy, right?
Yeah.
So then it brings out the proness, loyalty, friendly, and then the successful, I believe. And it talks about the intangible because I don't know who you are, but you look kind of up there, right? And then we looked at black and gold, navy, pretty not much maroon. I try to sort of tweak it a bit, but I don't want to overkill the blue, right? And I want you, if you could possibly do it, is I'll send you the photos now. Let's just see how it looks like.
All right.
You ready to put it on live?
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Let me send this to you, man. Let me send this to you. I'm pretty excited, man. Any last minute tweaks? You pretty like it?
No, I think it's great. It's perfect.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, cool, man. Let me get rid of this. This is kind of annoying. Okay, so let me send this to you, and let me send you your. I haven't have. Did I have your cover profile pic? Did I change that and I saved it? I believe I saved it, right? Where did I save it?
Yeah, same place, I think.
Oh, same place. Yes. Here you go. So here you go. Bam. Right. So give that a spin on your Facebook. Right. Give that a spin on your Facebook, and let's have a look, man. Let's have a look live. So this is Jason Ding, high ticket closer, doing his thing.
Okay, 1 second, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. I'm gonna look at the chat boxes, see whether there's anything. Oh, no questions. All right, cool. Leave it there. Let me know if you have any questions as well. Like probably, like I said, probably you could get like do it somewhere like this kind of range. If you're getting stuck with the Zoom kind of thing.
Okay, should be up now.
Awesome. Let's have a look. So this is Jason before, and this is Jason after. I like it. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, man. Man. I kind of like it. And if you could possibly man, like anytime you can, just give me a shout out that, I helped you with this cover photo, this cover pic. That'll be my biggest thank you from you.
Oh, I should thank you. Yeah.
Nah, cool, man. It's something simple for me. It's just to add value to the group, and just to show, I guess, a chance to show off my skills. But I really like it, man. Like if I was randomly just jumping onto people's page, right? For example, if I was to jump on, I don't want to sort of like pick names here because people can see it. Like if I was to jump on someone's group and then suddenly jump on your group, I'm like, whoa, this guy's kind of got something going here, man. The best investor is investing in himself, and I want to really read more about his stuff, right? I'm just gonna say this. This cover pic is lit. I'm gonna be the first one to comment on this. Just sound my own horn. This cover pic is lit. All right, man. So I'll wrap it up because obviously it's late. It's 11. I don't know. You have work tomorrow. I'll send you this just so you can have some guideline on your brand. I do encourage you to leverage your cover pic and cover photo just to talk more about this deep like from when I look at you to what I look at you before. Like this to me means no personality, like just whatever, right? You just splashed on, nothing like that, right? I think for here, it looks like your contemplation. And I do suggest you change your nickname because we already know your Jason thing, right? So maybe do something like be kind of cheeky, right? So maybe like the I don't know, like the investment guy or the high ticket closer or the closer guy. Just something that really is kind of not too corny, but just to sort of be memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we know your Jason thing, and this is probably your Malaysian or Chinese name, but it's sort of like if you look at my thing, right? I don't go Quang, Huynh, and try to pronounce it. I was like, unleash your raw, right? So something that's a bit of your tagline, so that you can think about later. But I don't think it matters. But I'm just saying something that ties in. Maybe like we can unlock it. Maybe you can put unlock your potential kind of thing, right? So it sort of like ties in with the message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what I want you to see is, and the exercises is the way that Facebook is, it's more of a digital visual platform, and it's where the eyes hit, right? So the way I design it is like the eyes look at this, and then it follows the yellow thing, hits this light, gets a bit of interest, looks at what the hell you're doing. All right, this guy's reading a book, and then reads it here, read yourself, and then the shadow sort of brings it back. So it's like it comes in a full circle, but it sort of like hits this, and it's like I don't know how to pronounce this. It's like what's the hell? But if you go unlock your potential, it's like okay, this guy's pretty smart. He's reading something about unlock it, and he's like unlock something, right? Then I sort of have this kind of respect that this guy's a bit of an artist, right? He's got some sort of creative thing going on. Then I'll bother to go and read your other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions, man?
No, I think it's great.
All right, man. Well, I love to see you up there. I'll probably follow up you next week to see how you're going with your posts and how you're leveraging Facebook. Hopefully this gives your Facebook profile a new breathe of air, a new costume, and that makes you feel more confident when you're posting, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, buddy. So I will wrap this call up, and for those who want to watch this in the future state, I'm going to upload it, and then you can ask me questions, or we can do a watch party, ask me other questions. But for now, Jason, thank you for your time, and I'll wrap it up, hey?
Yep. Thanks, Quang.
No worries. Chat to you later, man.
See ya.
Bye.